yeah, this road's quite bad. Hi everyone, so hopefully you can hear me and have a good view of the road ahead. If you haven't noticed, I've just bought myself a new microphone for my camera, so this is the first time I'm testing it, so fingers crossed you can hear me. I mean, I have tested it before I came out, so and it was working then, but you know how technology can be. You can run all the tests you want and out of nowhere, you know, it just won't work for you. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an infill video really. Second service is due on Wednesday morning, which is fantastic. I'm having some new things put on my bike, well, I say new things, I'm having the heavy duty chain fitted. I'm also having front and rear sprockets fitted. And yeah, and then obviously the service work that's carried out, which I wanted to talk to you about, because on the second service it says that your valve clearances have to be checked and adjusted accordingly. Now I can tell that this bike needs that doing, so it's obviously not a I'll just make sure these cars don't fly around me, because it's 30 now. Not many people know this road's changed from 40 to 30, so they get straight up your backside, look. Yeah, so as I was saying, I don't think it's an accident that around the second service where your valve clearances are checked, that my valve clearances need to be adjusted. I don't think that's an accident at all, so they must have known these motorbikes around this mileage will need some sort of adjustments on the valves, so that's cool. And I can tell it needs doing because, get around that bike, because it gets a bit groggy and poppy, you know. Like sometimes I'll be trying to get up to speed and it's just really holding back, and every now and again it will just chuck out some pops and bangs and whatnot, and it just feels, the whole thing just feels a little bit bogged down. And I've been reading up on it, and that is a side effect of needing your valve clearances readjusted. So it's great that that's happening on Wednesday. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk to you about a couple of things I've noticed with the bike. When I first bought the bike, I did notice I had a slight rattle coming from somewhere around the yokes, maybe below. And on the first service, I took the bike to them and I explained that to them, and they said that you know, there's many things that can cause a rattle on the bike. I wouldn't worry about it if it's performing fine, if the engine's running fine, if the suspension's working fine, if your brakes are working fine, etc. Then it could just be a random rattle from anywhere. I said, okay, that's fair enough. Then I would just take the bike back and see how I get on with it. That rattle's got louder, loud enough to a point where I am a bit fed up of hearing it now. So when I called up my dealership to explain to them my bike's due its second service, but also I've got this rattle that I was told could be anything. Well, that whatever that anything is getting louder, and it's a mild cause for concern. So whilst it's in your hands with a service, can you please look into it? They said, yeah, of course they will. So that's fine. I can't find that rattle myself. I mean, I've had the side panels off and I've checked everything so many times, and I just cannot find where that rattle's coming from. So I'll leave it in the hands of the professionals. Also, another thing I want to talk to you about, you see, overall the bike's been fantastic. So if I had to give it an overall, I don't know, if someone said how's the bike been for you, I'd say fantastic, because it has. I mean, look, it's riding lovely. And I started noticing I had a different rattle. Now this one starts and stops depending whether or not my weight's on the bike. If I put my weight on the bike, I get this kind of weird tapping, flicking noise. When I stand up, the noise goes. When I drop my weight, the noise comes back. Another thing I mentioned to them, and again I was told just see how it goes. If it gets worse, let us know. We'll look into it. So I've done that, and now I've narrowed that down to my exhaust, where the exhaust meets the the manifold for the engine. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know how my weight on the bike can affect the header, but it does. So I've told them about that. They're going to sort that out for me. Yeah, so what have I spoken about? I've spoken about the new microphone, which is just absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely buzzing to have bought that. My service is due. Oh, that was another thing. Lextech sell aftermarket clutch and brake levers for the LXRs. Beautiful pieces of kit, short, stubby, matte black. You can get them in, look absolutely gorgeous. So like a kid at Christmas when they was released, snapped a pair up. Thought, oh yeah, they'll look really nice on the LXR. Clutch went on absolutely fine. Thought, oh my god, I'm really excited, you know. Got to the brake lever, completely different setup on the SEs to the non-SE LXRs. I always want to say standard LXRs, but they're not standard, you know. The only difference between the two are aluminium yokes, aluminium swing arm. Is that it? No, something else. Aluminium yokes, aluminium swing arm. This is going to bug me now. And upside down forks, that was it. The rest of the bike's exactly the same. So obviously they're not, because we have different brake master cylinders on the SEs for some strange reason. Both the same bikes, both weigh about the same, so I don't know why we'd need a different brake master cylinder, but that's the way it is. And obviously there's none out there for the SE, these levers. There's no levers out there for the SE. So I've looked into it, and apparently the non-SE LXR's brake master cylinder, or this bit, will fit straight onto this handlebar, which will then make a nice, you know, hold on, I need to get my words out properly. So yeah, with that fitted, it will make no difference to the braking of the bike or the way how efficient the brakes are. So I've ordered myself a brake master cylinder off a non-SE LXR, and I'm going to ask the dealership to also fit that. So when that's done, I can buy those levers that I have been dreaming about. Let's go this way, I'll show you somewhere. Yeah, so a lot happening for the bike over the next few days. Yeah, so that's cool. So apart from those two rattles, let me just lift this up a bit, get some fresh air. So apart from that rattle from wherever, and the exhaust manifold blowing noise whenever I stand up and sit down, the bike's absolutely spot on. It's a flipping lovely bike, and people keep asking me, what are you going for next? What's your next bike? I want the 380. That's what I want. Why? When I have fallen in love so much with this bike, the look of it, the feel of it, the way it rides, the only thing this bike needs is a bit more power, and then in my eyes it'd be beautiful. Oh, by the way, Warrior Martial Arts in Beeston, that's where I train jiu-jitsu. Yeah, so yeah, the only thing that lets this bike down is its power, is the engine. Not that it's ridiculously slow, but it's slow, it is slow. So why would I not get the 380, you know? Yeah, it would be nice to think, oh, once I've done my mod 1 and mod 2, I'll just jump straight on a 600 Gixxer or CBR 600 or etc, etc. I'm not really a fan of going really fast on a bike. I like the acceleration on a bike rather than the top end. I couldn't give two bleeps whether your bike can do 200 miles an hour. That don't interest me or excite me or impress me in the slightest. Now you tell me your bike can go 0 to 70 in 2 seconds, then you've got my attention, you know. So yeah, so I just want the 380. I don't want to get rid of this bike. It's beautiful. I get so excited about riding it, and in a vain sort of way, I like the way I look on it. You know, I'm proud to be seen on it. Yeah, this road's quite bad. So yeah, I'm proud to be seen on it. Everyone who looks at it simply adores it. Even before they know it's a 125, they come across and say, oh, your bike's beautiful, what is it? So it's a Lexmoto LXR 125. 125? Get that so much, but you know, they're always complimenting just how beautiful the bike looks, and they've got every right to, and you know, you can completely understand why. Look at it, it's absolutely stunning. So I will not be going Gixxer or CBR or anything like that yet. I won't say never, but I'll say yet, because I'm in love with this bike too much. So my Mod 1, I've not told people when my Mod 1 is, only my family and like, you know, close friends of mine, because I didn't want to put any pressure on myself, you know. If I tell people on YouTube, oh, my Mod 1's on such and such a date, people are going to be expecting a video update of that, and I just don't think I'm comfortable putting that unnecessary pressure on myself. So I'm going to keep that to myself, and pass or fail, I'll still put a video up. If I pass, it'll be a great video. If I fail, it won't be such a great video. But I'll tell you exactly what I failed on and why I failed, and I'll be completely transparent with everyone, because this is me going through the motions of getting my big bike license. So I'll be completely honest, like I say, about pass or failing my test. I just want to get rid of these L plates, and I'm looking to get in the 380. That's my next plan. That is my next plan, because even if when I do my Mod 2, I think it'd be a bit silly of me to jump onto something silly fast. So a 380 is, what says 125, 250, 37, 3 times this engine. That's enough for me. That's enough for me, that is. I don't need that ridiculous speeds that everyone claims I'm going to want eventually. I don't think I will. I'm quite a chilled out guy on the roads. I mean, I like cars that accelerate quick, but as soon as I've hit the speed limit, I back down, because I've had my fun. My fun is getting to that limit, you know, not how far past the limit I can take it, because that's just stupid. You're asking for trouble, and you know, in my eyes, who's going to look better? The person doing 200 miles an hour who's ended up dead, or the person behind him that's done 70 miles an hour his whole life? That's the way I look at it. Smiles per mile. And on this thing, yeah, absolutely. Can we just take a moment and appreciate just how beautiful these bikes are? I mean, look, there's not one angle you look at this bike from that you just can't say isn't beautiful. Look how beautiful, what a beautiful creature. What a beautiful creature you are. Look at that snoot. Ooh. You're a good boy, aren't you? You're a good lad. You're a good boy. Come on, let's show him. Sit. 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 Hey. Attention, please. Sit. 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 Come here. Sit. Not yet. You meant to wait for me. Speak. Good. Ooh. You've started someone else off now. Can you hear it? Look. Who's it? Who's it? Who's it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute.